Monday, April 6th, 2020, on the coast of Brazil.
Florianopolis.
After a beautiful morning, diving into the cold ocean.
After a Sunday of no rituals, no schedules,
Yes.
no work,
Yes.
lots of sleep.
Coming back to the flow of the rituals is a beautiful thing. They're almost getting destroyed by the power of the ocean this morning. Just bowing to respect, you know. Okay, you bring a great power.
I saw you dive into the wave, and you went like this. You dived into it, and I saw you in the wave. You're going up like this, and then I didn't see you anymore.
Yeah, it smashed me into the ground. So, Hans, you have an inquiry.
Yes.
And an invitation to bring.
Yeah, we've been talking about this, and I wanna clearly put out a call. As we are doing the call, I'm receiving messages on Instagram. I received messages on Messenger, email, and last night also on the call with the case study group, the Way of a Seducer case study group. A recurring theme of a recurring question of guys is they are seeing a girl or starting to see a girl, and they like her, and she's beautiful and hot and sexy, and they really want to like explore this with her, and they really like her. They're either just meeting her or dating her already or in a long-term relationship with her, and they really like her, and they feel everything is great and perfect, and they still feel this call of something else, a call for adventure, a call for something different, this is great where I'm at, and they still want to look what's around the corner. And the question the question mostly goes like, how do I bring this to this girl? Because
how do I talk to her about it?
How do I talk to her about it? And the what's going on with guys as I ask about it is that they think that the girl will never accept it. They think that they might hurt the girl. They think that they might lose the girl. They think that they won't get to sex with her. They feel shame about the desire of wanting something else because this is great. Why do I, And so the inquiry is about like, how do I communicate that to her?
I imagine that many men also feel incompetent in an emotionally charged conversation with a female after having many interactions with, let's say, their mother, previous girlfriends, who can bring a level of emotionality, and even women are often far more verbally articulate, especially when it comes to relationships and emotions and things like that, than men are. So right. I imagine it's also like...
Yeah, the conversation is almost like a crisis, and they want to get back to comfort. They want to get back to having a good image in her eyes, in his own eyes. They want to get back in a way into the system. But the conversation itself and like, how do I do this, is the symptom of the deeper issue. And the deeper issue is that if you're a man, if you're a fully integrated man with strong penetrative power in this world, the men I met that are like that, it's completely normal, first and foremost, that I'm great with this girl. This thing with her is fantastic. It's perfect. I like her. Even the sex is great. You have that, and then there's another part of you that says, what else is there? you know. And I'll say this, it's
and when you say what else is there, you're talking about oftentimes like I'm also interested in other women or the possibility of other women.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to explore my love for women. I want sex with different women. I want to go on an adventure away from her, you know. And it's one of the biggest differences, generalizing, short through the turn, but it's one of the biggest differences between men and women that nobody really wants to talk about, because the men don't want to talk about it and the women don't want to hear it. Or in the other way, women don't want to hear it, you know, and then the men don't want to talk about it, you know. And nobody addresses the elephant in the room, this thing, and until it builds up, you know, and then people cheat and people feel hurt and people feel broken, and it's not necessary.
And another scenario that happens is she starts feeling like, well, when is he going to get serious?
Right.
When is he going to commit?
When is he going to commit?
And she can start trying to manipulate him, or you know.
Yeah, we've seen each other for so long. It's time you
negotiate.
Yes.
Right.
We got to go to the next step.
Yeah, or you know, passive aggressive strategies,
yes.
Or you know, she withholds sex, or she withholds her full whatever until
yes.
there's a commitment. And so there's many complicated scenarios that
yes.
can come up. And for guys who, like, if you haven't really have an experience of making it through this jungle to the
right.
other side,
yes,
where you have freedom, power, abundance, magic, then it almost occurs like it's not possible for
right.
you.
Please I want to come back to this because that's the key, how practically you can solve this. And I have a 3-step process there when this conversation of commitment comes up to address this. But what I first want to say in a more general way to guys is that, like, the struggle that we have with that conversation is we feel shame. We don't know how to deal with the girl. And we don't think it's possible to have that. You know, at best, we think, at best, we got to find a way that she doesn't know about it, or ultimate best scenario, when she tolerates it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to say to these guys, when you feel that, you know, is that not only is it possible to have it, you know, but you can thrive in it. You can thrive in it, and she can love you for it. She can love you for it more, you know, not just tolerate, but she can love you because of it, not in spite of it, you know. And I think that's one of my biggest realizations in my relationships with women is, let's say, my love for women, you know, is not something that women will tolerate, or she will be with me in spite of my love for women. But my love for women and my continued love for women, my continued love for adventure is the reason, it's the very reason that she loved me way more profound than the girls loving their boyfriend in classic relationships, than women loving their husbands in classic marriages.
Yes.
You want to say something?
I was just going to say that this adventure, right, because guys in this kind of a situation, you know, for myself 10 years ago, I really confronted this long-term dream I'd had, that if I'm going to settle down, if I'm going to have a family, whatever, first I'm going to go travel the world, and I'm going to date some beautiful women from far-off lands. That had just been living inside of me since the time I was a teenager. And so here's this grand adventure. For different men, it'll be a different thing. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're newly single, if you're just getting out of another relationship or a divorce or a breakup, you're probably not just wanting to jump into another relationship. You're probably going to want to go out and see what's possible, have some different experiences, but then you come across a good woman, a woman that likes you, you like her,
Yes.
and you feel like, oh, she's starting to like me, and I can tell she wants to kind of, maybe it feels like trap me in a relationship,
Right.
and I don't know how to do this, and so. But there's this adventure, this call to adventure that you have, and what we don't know how to do is navigate, is the war. It's the inner conflict. It's dealing with the conflict with her and dealing with the conflict within ourselves.
Yes.
And the conflict within ourselves is something like, stay true to myself and feel honor, have this sense, yes, I'm really going for what I want.
Right.
I'm being true to myself. I'm standing for what I want. I'm speaking my truth. And I'm honest with her. And I'm having this adventure, you know?
Yes.
And what guys will often do is they'll find a compromise.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll kind of have a little bit of adventure without committing to her. So yeah, we're not committed, but we're dating, and I'm secretly kind of texting some other girls, but I feel a little bit guilty about it, but maybe I'm not fully cheating on her,
Right.
so I still have some sense of feel good.
I'll say it after I have sex with her.
So I have a little bit of adventure and I have a little bit of feel good somehow.
Right.
Whereas if you fully face this and you stand for having it all,
Stand for having it all.
you can have the adventure and the honor and honor in relationship with her and honor in relationship with yourself.
Yes.
That's what we're inviting you to, and Hans, that's what you've been working on for a long time.
Because that's, like you say, you know, we kind of find a middle ground, and we feel a little bit of honor, we feel a little bit of adventure, you know, but not really. If you do it well, you know, you can have 10 times the adventure, like you say, you have 10 times the honor. You
Yes.
know? And practically, this is how you do it. I want to show guys, because on the call yesterday, I didn't really say what I do, but here's what you do to practically make this happen. To make sure that you stand for everything is, well, first you got to realize you're a man and you can lead your relationship into glory. You could do it, you could shape it any way you want. And so I got 4 elements for this, say, conversation, or when you even thinking about, I would want this, but the girl is not going to like it, you know? So I'm not going to speak about it, and then I'm going to have, you know, I'll wait until we have sex, and then after. No, this is what you do. 4 steps. 1, the conversation of commitment, let's say, which is often women saying, hey, we've been seeing each other now, it's time to move it to the next level, okay? That conversation, 1, you should bring it up. 1, as the guy, you bring it up.
Before she does.
Before she does. If she does it, it's too late. You got to bring it up. You got to be the one to say to the girl, where's this going for you?
And if she brings it up, it's like she's dragging you along and she's
Yes.
resenting you for it.
Yes, she's leading it. And that's not her role. You're the leader of the dance. You bring it up. So you say to the girl, where do you see this going? And you make sure you got your answer ready. Your answer, where you see that relationship go. You know, that's because you made that stand. You know what you want in your relationships. It doesn't have to be clear, but you got to make a stand. So that's 1. You bring it up, not her, because otherwise you're reacting. 2 is this conversation I have with women a lot about commitment. And a lot of women think or equal or presuppose commitment something like being sexually exclusive to her. All right? And so they see that as, we gotta commit. And it's all wishy-washy of what that commitment really is. Because I show to women, I speak about it, and I tell them, what kind of commitment is that really, to say, I'm going to have sex only with you for the rest of my life? You know, that's a shallow commitment.
Or while we're boyfriend girlfriend.
Yes,
right?
But I show them that's a shallow commitment, because I don't know how I'm going to feel. I also show them in that situation, in that moment, that what women really want when they ask sexual exclusivity is not that your penis is not going to be in another vagina anymore. What they really want is that they want to feel like they're the queen. They want to feel like your attention is on her, that she's the one. And I ask women this. I say,
she's special.
She's special, you know. And when you treat her like a queen, you're going to get liberties that other guys don't get. I show this to women, and you can have this conversation with your woman. You could say, imagine, you say it to a woman, imagine your boyfriend or your husband goes on a trip, a business trip, and he comes back home and he says, listen, I went on this trip with work, and one evening we got very drunk, and there was this woman I met, and we drank too much, and I ended up with her, and we had sex, and I didn't like it, and it was just, I just got horny, and nothing else happened, and it means nothing to me, you know. But I wanted to share it with you because we promised to be honest with each other. That scenario. Or he comes home and says, listen, I went on this business trip and I met this woman, and it was incredible. We connected so deeply. It's like she's my soulmate. We finished each other's phrases. It's like, it was incredible, but we didn't have sex. You know, what would be worse to you? You ask it to the woman, and almost all think the second scenario is worse, which shows to me it's not the sex, it's not the physical act, it's the attention. It's the attention. If you're the one, she's the one for you. And so I show this to them that it's not about sex, and then I tell them that my commitment to women, to a relationship, is way higher than most women are ready for. Like, I don't commit to sexual exclusivity, but I commit to, for example, doing everything in my power to keep myself happy, you know, because the more I'm happy, the more you're going to like it. And I will never hold you responsible for the way I feel. So you are off the hook. And the same from you, you know. I don't take responsibility for the way you feel. So I commit to that. I commit to a certain way of dealing with disagreement when we hit there, when we have disagreement. So this means no criticism, no stonewalling, no defensiveness, you know, all of that. I commit to that, you know, and I commit to the relationship, which means whatever happens, I'm going to make this work. The format of the relationship may change, you know. We may be lovers or not. We may be boyfriend or girlfriend. We may get married or not. But this relationship and making it work, you know, our friendship in that way is the most important. And it's intense, you know, because I'm going to call you out. I'm going to be your ally. I'm going to be there for you, you know, and it's intense.
Yes.
You know? And so I show that my commitment to that relationship is way more profound, way deeper, way more intense than the presupposition of sexual exclusivity. And women go, then they see it, and I've had women say this to me, whoa, you know, and they would never not try it with me because I don't promise sexual exclusivity. But some of them will at that point go, I can't handle this right now. It's too intense.
Yes.
So it's not my not committing to sexual exclusivity that makes them not go. It's my commitment to inclusivity, to really like, we're making this work.
Yes.
You know, that makes them feel like, whoa, maybe I'm not ready for that. And so that's the third point of that conversation, is that the third key of having that conversation is that you're inclusive with her. Don't bring it to her as if you figured this out and it's my way or the highway, you know. What you do is you include her in it. You so to speak, you put your arm around her and you look at this thing together, you know. I want to do this, you know. What do you think? Where do you see yourself? You know, so you include her in that conversation and you find the solution together. You know? So be inclusive of her is the third element. And in that too, fourth or 3.5 is, I always say I was like this in the past. This is how I see things right now. And the future is open. You know, it may be any way we shape it. You know, so those are 4 elements of that having that conversation.
So the last one, you kind of went through those really quick. The last one I think is really important, which is, you know, that you're saying the future is open. Like, I don't have a specific plan, but letting her know how you've been in the past
Mm-hmm.
in relationship,
Yes.
what's going on right now, and what you're currently seeing right now.
Right.
And I think that's important because as far as her not expecting something and then being disappointed, blaming you,
Yes.
her getting hurt, this is kind of just like giving her more information to deal with so she can tell if she wants to go on this journey.
Right.
Something that just to map this on kind of to a different area of life, something about me is I'm always challenging people to jump, metaphorically. Go for it, just take the risk, or come along with me. I was inviting our young friend from the States, just come on down to Brazil,
Right.
At this point in time, in life, which is kind of, it's really scary for him. And yeah, there's risks involved, but that's who I am. And what I've started doing now is putting in a disclaimer and just letting people know, like, don't do it because I said it.
Right.
Take full responsibility. This is how I am. You might get hurt.
Right.
And I do this. This is how I live my life, but it's not for everybody. And so they're making a fully informed choice when they come.
Right.
And they're not just going along with you on an adventure that, the way that they're thinking about it is, I'm not just doing what Hans wants or what Michael wants or whatever. I'm like, okay, oh shit. All right, yes, I want to go for this. And then they're on the adventure of their own accord.
Which certainly with men, you let them make their own choice. You're not saying come. You're not pulling them,
Well, I am.
Yes.
But I'm also saying it's your choice.
It's your choice.
Don't listen to me.
Yes.
I'm saying both.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly with women, I think this is very important that you do that. And I say it very practically for guys. Like, I say to guys, if you don't see a future with this woman, if you don't see a future, you gotta tell her. And I have this as a principle. You say it before sex, because this is the first thing that a woman thinks about when she meets a guy is, do I see a future with him? Mm-hmm. Guys don't think that. Guys think, can I fuck her or not?
Now, when you say don't see a future with her, what do you mean?
If you feel in your heart that this is going to be temporary and you won't be able to build something with her, and you see that she even independent of whether she sees that or not, I bring it up. Certainly, if you think that she sees something, a future,
You mean like a romantic future?
Yes.
Or a long-term relationship?
A long-term
future?
relationship.
Right.
If you see, for example, a girl and she looks at you and you can see that she's like loving you and thinks this could be a boyfriend, I could bring him to my parents. Maybe I have a family with him.
Yes.
If you see that, and you know in your heart, you know that's not going to happen. You gotta bring it to her, and you bring it to her before you have sex with her.
And what's your reason for that?
Avoiding heartbreak, and not avoiding heartbreak, but like, because a woman will have, a woman will get to sex because of love. She loves you, and she's a lot more vulnerable, and she'll give her body to you. And if you don't see a future, you think, well, I'll just go day by day, and I want to, and I want to have sex, and I used to be completely not seeing that, and then I have a period also where I'm saying, well, she's making her own decision, but now I feel I can't do this no more, and I want to bring this up. I want her to know what kind of guy I am before we get to sex.
Yes.
I want her to know this. I want her, I don't want to use her love for me as a way to get in her pants and then try to deal with it afterwards.
Right.
And so that's my disclaimer. I love women. I'm on an adventure. I probably won't be the boyfriend. I do this on first dates. I say I'm not boyfriend material. And then I explain it more, like how I've been in the past, how I am now, how I look at love. This is a conversation I have on dates. It's great dating.
Which is kind of what if both you and I have been traveling for more than a decade now, traveling the world, and a lot of times a woman in a local town in some other country, she'll realize you're a traveler, this is your life, you're moving on. And so she won't open that possibility that maybe this is a guy for boyfriend or husband or something like this. And she realized, okay, that's not on the table. Do I want to just have an adventure with this guy?
Right.
Do I want to just, and it's, so once you have it with her, she can choose to have a different kind of adventure with you instead of having one idea and then being upset later.
Yeah, but what I am not offering just to have an adventure. When I meet a girl in a foreign country, I never just think, just have an adventure. I want that every relationship I set out.
But you're talking about if you don't see a future with her.
Yes, but future in terms of, okay, in the classical sense of boyfriend, girlfriend, married, But I always see a future. I see a future in the sense of like, I start every relationship for it to be forever. And the basis for that is a friendship. Now we could be lovers too, and maybe it develops in some, but that friendship.
Yes. So that was unclear when you said you don't see a future.
Okay.
And I do a similar kind of thing, and the way I talk about it is being allies. That's the to me that's the ultimate relationship.
That's great, because that's a way more committed relationship than any of the boyfriend girlfriend, which is full of presuppositions, assumptions. It's very deliberate. It's that what I propose, a friendship or an allyship with that woman, for the rest of your life.
And I distinguish it from friendship because most friendships don't rise to the level of being allies, which is, I want the absolute best for you. I want your personal growth. I want your happiness and mine as well. And inside of our relationship, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to face you. I'm going to talk with you. It's what you talk about, inclusivity, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm committed to staying in connection with you and to finding a win-win, honorable outcome. And
it's a mafia offer, man. If anyone is in their sane mind, they accept it.
And like recently, there's a woman I had a really incredible connection with last summer, and there was and is a potential for a really great and deep intimacy and connection and growth together, and who knows what. And she's really passionate. She's Latina, and she's really hot in the terms of like she just wants some sizzling, really all in as far as love, sex, eroticism, sensuality, like all of it, And I think that she would rather have, and what she was willing to just risk with me is that we have something hot, and if it ends, it ends, and I could just see it blowing up, And because she actually gave me some examples of, she tried to blow it up a few times. And I told her, and it took some time, but I just kept reinforcing to her that if I had to choose between having something really hot with you and then like it blows up and we don't talk anymore, or we're just friends and allies and we never have that hot affair, I said I'll take the second one.
Yes.
You're a great woman. I want you in my life. And to me, it pains me, and I really don't like when people just quit on people.
Right.
Like they just write them off as if they never existed.
Right.
And it's like, no.
Yeah, people get together and then they break up, You don't have to get into a relationship and then break up.
They break up in a way to where they break up in judgment of the other.
Yes.
And it's like they forget who you are. They forget the magic. They forget in their heart how special you are to them.
But what I'm saying is that is because of the societal standards of how it should be, and we let them think for us, and we don't go deliberately into relationships. We're not really committing to a relationship. We just go in through the phases that a society puts on us, and so it prevents us from thinking. It prevents us from really committing to the other. It prevents us from being present and really be there with the other and working on that relationship, you know.
Yes.
And so they flow into this stage of like, we're together now, and then they hit a wall, very traditional, and they go into the stage of breaking up and heartbreak and resenting, and it's incredible, you know. And so I'm the same in saying, everyone I meet, my friendship, my allyship, I love that, is way more important than anything else that we could be, you know?
Yeah, and it also gives you a real kind of grounding and place to stand when she does get really emotional, or it looks like it's all going to come crashing down, that you know you're here for the long haul. She may get emotional, whatever, like in the face of the ups and the downs and it all, you're staying in communication with her. You want the best for her and yourself.
Yes.
And you're going to...
Wow, this is great. So this is a call for guys, just bringing it back, that whatever you want as lifestyle, you know, it is totally possible to have whatever you want with women and be loved for it, to be a beloved ladies' man, you know, to have women love you, not in spite of your love for women, not in spite of your sense of adventure, but because of your love for women, because of your sense of adventure. And there's a way that you can deal with this, you know, and this conversation, for example, is one of the key points. And I'll say this also, maybe in conclusion, that conversation, you know, that conversation that you start, you know, that you're leading it, you're inclusive of her. You tell her how you were in the past, now, and how the future is. You're the one who talks about commitment. You're the one who talks about sexual exclusivity. That conversation itself, you know, it's in that moment when you converse with the woman in this way, when you're leading, when you're making that stand, that she will feel, oh, this guy I can trust. This guy I want to be with. This guy is unlike any other guy I ever met. I'm following him. He's way more than I thought a man could be. He's not a boyfriend. He's not a husband. He's way more. He's my ally. What? I can have this for the rest of my life? Yes. Tell me what's next. And so it's in that conversation. That conversation is not a necessary evil that you think, fuck, I gotta have this conversation, you know? No, it's in that moment that you shape that relationship, that you shape that friendship, that you show your commitment, that you show your leading, that she will feel like a woman, that you will feel like a man.
That you create that long-term, beautiful, powerful relationship with a woman who can be, you guys can be in each other's lives forever.
Exactly. And I'll tell you this too. Again, my experience was, I thought, okay, I've had this conversation. I went from thinking this is necessary evil, you know, and then finding ways to do that beautifully. And I said, okay, now I've done it, you know. And then I had to have that conversation again a month later or 2 months later. And I'm like, what the fuck? I told this already. What I realized, it is in that moment, that when you have that conversation, that she will feel loved. It's in the moment where she's a woman and she says, stay with me, commit to me. It's in the moment where she's being a woman and being frivolous and being totally emotional. And it's in the moment where you stand for your stand, you're inclusive of her, you look at the future, you manage that conversation and you manage that relationship. It's in that moment that friendship, that allyship is formed and that it goes deeper. Yes. So it's not a necessary evil. It's the essential gateway to that relationship. Yes. So you got to be grateful for that opportunity. Bring it up and bring it up again, you know, and that's the way you form that allyship.
And then when you get into conflict down the road, you come back to who you are for each other. You come back to that initial commitment. Yes. You don't engage on the level of her upset and negotiate with the things that she's accusing you of, or the drama or the whatever, the story that she's creating. You come back to that original creation story of who you are and the path you're on. And there's many, I'll end on this, there's many women out there who have never had a relationship with a man that they can really trust, like long term.
Right.
And many who are expecting it to end badly. And so they're living in a sense of like anger towards men and not expecting magic. Just settling for less. And, if a woman decides, I'm okay, regardless of what she's experienced with you, I'm at a time in my life when I want to get married, I want to find a great man. Great, be her ally, help her find that.
Yes.
It's sex and romance and these things can come and go, but if you're a man who's going to be there and this powerful, beautiful, positive force in her life, it's a great gift that you can bring to women.
Yeah, and your relationship will last forever. Let me summarize it for the guys. This is a call for guys thinking, okay, I'm with women and I don't know how to bring to her my sense of adventure, my love for women. It's great now and I want something else also. And you think it's just a conversation. How do I bring this conversation? It's the essence of every relationship that you're touching upon. Realize that you got a great opportunity with each of those, say, conversations, that you can shape that relationship. There's a way to do it that you can have everything you want and have women worship you for it, not just tolerate you for it. If you know your stand in it, and if you see the opportunity with every conversation of shaping that allyship. And so, and if you're wondering about this, you could try these things out, but we are here also. And this community is here. If you feel that you want to combine it, that you want to make this happen, we're here as allies, and we'll help you with it,
And it's an art form to practice and master that'll pay dividends for your entire life of great honor, great adventure, and endless possibility. It's not something to just get tell me how to say this in a text message, or I want to find out this solution to a specific problem. Consider this as an art form to study, practice, master. And if you want to be, a master, a Jedi in this realm, in your relations with women and with people, then
we're here for you.
We're here for you. We're waiting for you. Join us.
Sois parti, darling. Precious pearl, gone for a while. There's a smoke trail, no longer traceable.